Hi, guys. We'll wait one more minute. Grab any props you need for the time being. We'll start, the half of the class will be a little bit more dynamic, and then we're going to taper down to more of a yin practice towards the end. So if you need any kind of cushion or towels or anything like that, you can grab it now. Andrea, you look like you're already going to be in bed in 5 minutes. This music doesn't help. All right, I think we can start. So, welcome guys. Welcome to another hour with me. Okay, so everyone can hear me fine, yeah? And you can hear the music. Good. No, you cannot hear the music? Really? Happens to me all the time, I'm telling you. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll turn it off then because I can hear it. So I'll turn it off. All right, great. All right. Hello, Maria. Okay, great. Let's get started. So, as I was saying, we will start the first half of our practice with a little bit more dynamic movements to sort of just get our body a little bit warmer. That way, it's going to help you stretch out a little bit more towards the end, and I'm going to taper it down with the half back end of the practice, more yin, more static, longer stretches. So if you need any props with like blocks, cushion, bolster, towels, anything like that, please go ahead and grab that. And then when you're ready, we're gonna start with my favorite child's pose. So anytime when you're ready, you can set up and slowly get comfortable in your child's pose. With the hands position, I'm never fussed with that. It really depends on how your shoulder feels. Sometimes reaching the arms forward might be a little bit too much for the shoulders, so you can have them reach back and just kind of drape your shoulders over with the full head on your mat. And then just take your time to use the child's pose to get your body ready and get your mind ready. And start to breathe in towards the back of the spine a little bit more. When I say that, it's you have to think about it as if you're drawing the air all the way down towards the lungs and almost towards the back and your lower back as well. And you want to slowly kind of extend the back end of your spine, which is like your tailbone, your sit bone, all the way down towards the heels. You want to purposely try to reach that down towards the heels with your forehead still on the ground. So that's kind of like your anchor. So you're using your breath to start engaging and stretching out and elongating the whole spine. Every inhalation, draw in through your nose. And exhale all the way through your nose. You want to be able to feel the movement of your rib cage as it expands as much as you can and as it contracts back to neutral. It's really small muscles in between the rib cage. You're going to use your breath to help you stretch that. And you can slowly bring the arms forward, reaching towards the front edge of your mat, and then spreading the fingers wide. Just have your palms be a little bit more active, fingers a little bit more active, so they're spreading wide and they're pressing down towards the mat. Right here, you're going to feel that your shoulders wants to come up and kind of get a little bit closer towards your ears. You want to allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears, so creating as much space as you can between the ears and your arms. So the fingers are pressing down and you're almost kind of rotating, externally rotating your arms outwards, keeping the inner elbows facing each other. So that's already an engaged upper body right there. And I want you to remember that feeling as you go into your downward facing dog. It should be the same feeling. And you're going to slowly come up. You're going to lower down towards the belly. With your feet mat distance wide, keeping your arms on the shoulders, you're just going to gently come up as much as you can as your first gentle back bend. Just go slow. If you've been training at home and you've been doing tons of abs, you should feel a gentle stretch along the front of your abdomen. And you want to roll the shoulders back and down away from the ears, always giving a lot of space between the ears and your shoulders. And you're going to slowly come down. Rest the arms, rest your head to one side. And I'm going to come up one more time, exactly the same. Take your time to slowly come up into a cobra position where the elbows are still slightly bent. And you're bringing the belly button forward. Shoulders moving back and down. And exhale, slowly come down. Turn your head to the other side, rest your arms. And come back up one more time. Last one. This time you're gonna extend your arms a little bit straighter. And then drawing the belly button forward. The heart center moves forward. Shoulders rolling back. A little bit deeper with your back bend here. And then you're gonna lift the chin up, stretching the front of your neck as well without straining your neck. And the neck back to neutral. You're gonna turn your head towards the right. As far as you can turn to gaze towards that left heel. And you can come back to the center, do the same thing on the other side. And back to center, back down, and slowly curl the toes, pull back, child's pose. Relax your arms and your shoulders wherever you want. And then do the same thing with stretching your lower back down towards the heels. And you're gonna slowly come up into your first downward dog. Take your time, spread your fingers. Remember how we practice with the shoulders and your neck before creating that space. And try to mimic the same feeling when you're up in downward dog. And of course, feel free to cycle the heels and warm up the hamstrings. Stretch the back of your calves. And feel free to move your head around just to make sure that your neck is indeed relaxed. You're going to bend the right knee a little bit and just press the left heel straight down. Just stretch that left heel. Continue to breathe through the nose. And you're going to swap the leg. Good, and then back to center, bend both of your knees. Stretch your hips up towards the ceiling, reaching the forehead down towards the floor. Keeping it back in a neutral position. Try not to overarch your rib cage. Try not to flare it. And you're going to press both heels down towards the mat. Keep your knees slightly bent if you're tight. Good, you're gonna look forward. You're gonna step that right foot forward in between your palms and come down. If you have a really thin mat, there's another trick to make it more comfortable when you're doing anything with your knees on the floor, is to roll the mat in half and place your knee there, okay? If you have anything thinner than 4 mm, you probably would be more comfortable folding it halfway. So we're gonna sit here in a deep hip opening lunge position, keeping that right knee in 90 degree. So this front knee here, you kind of want to imagine that your energy is shooting forward with this knee. At the same time, the center of the body here is sinking downwards. So this is acting as an anchor, and you're stretching that right knee forward. You're gonna bring the left arm up and lean towards the right side. I help you open up the left side here from the abdomen all the way down towards the front of your left knee. And come back to the center, exhaling. You're gonna tuck your back toes and you're gonna lean back, shifting your weight back so that the front leg is close to straight. Keep it slightly bent. And then you're gonna fold belly towards the thigh. If that's happening, then the chest towards your knee. And then the forehead or the chin towards your shin. Try to flatten your lower back as much as you can so you get to completely fold the upper body over your thigh first. Good, and then come back to center here. You're gonna move that right foot out towards the edge of the mat. You're gonna place your hands on the inside now. And then you're gonna slowly lower the elbows down towards the mat. If this is comfortable, then you can lift the back knee off the floor. If it's too far, then you can use a block and place a block under your forearm so you still have some space. Holding here for a few more deep breaths. Good, and then exhale, release, hands down. Come back up towards the center. Move your foot back towards the middle of the mat, and then we're gonna lift the back knee off the floor. So you're gonna tuck your toes, and you're gonna slowly come up. Stabilize your stance here, and make sure that your hip bones are facing forward, your hips are squared. Now you're gonna reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Have your palms apart so it doesn't add any more extra stress on your shoulders. Then you're just gonna drop the shoulders down and then think about the rib cage pulling in, neutral spine here. Keeping the front knee in 90 degrees. Eyes gazing forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, hands down. You're gonna step back into downward facing dog. Take a long, deep inhale and long, full exhale. I'm gonna do the same thing with your left foot now. We're gonna step the left foot forward in between your palms. First one is just being here and lunging. Setting up so the knee is in 90 degrees. And then that right hip bone here. Don't let your body turn to the side. Keep your body facing forward and then sitting all the way down, sinking down towards the middle of the mat. Continuously try to pull that right hip bone forward. Good, and then bring the right arm up. And then leaning towards the left side. Good, the chest is still pointing forward. And just leaning and stretching the side of the right side. Great, back to center and exhale, hands down, shifting the body weight back. Coming to the forward bend here, take your time. As you inhale, I want you to stretch and lengthen your spine and get ready. Exhale, you're gonna come down. Flex your front foot. You're gonna feel it more if that foot is being flexed. And slowly come up. Exhaling, hands to the inside, walk your foot out to the edge of the mat. Slowly drop the elbows down. And when you're ready, lifting the right knee off the floor. Still keeping the left knee in 90 degrees. Good. If you're comfortable here, fairly comfortable here, see if you can get your head closer towards that left heel and see how you feel there. And then slowly you kind of do it step by step. You're gonna tuck that left shoulder underneath that left foot, that left knee, the space where you're doing the lunge. Good. And you slowly come up, releasing, moving the foot back towards the center of the mat. And you're gonna lift the back knee off the floor this time. Stabilize your stance. Come on up. When you come up, readjust your hip. Make sure that the right hip is pointing forward. And then when you're ready, arms come up. And your neck is neutral here. Rib cage in. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3. Send some energy towards that back foot. 2. And 1. Exhale, hands down. Step back into downward dog. Long, deep breath. Good. And you're going to walk your hands towards your feet, towards your toes. I'll do it here. And then you're going to lift your chest, soften the knees. The first one, you're just going to grab onto your elbows and just dangle your upper body downwards. Try to minimize the space between your thighs and your chest. Pointing your hips up towards the ceiling. And you're going to exhale, place your hands down. Move your feet out a little bit and just come down to a squat. Squatting as low as you can. Just resting here for a moment. Feel free to bring the elbows inside and then pressing the elbows out against your knee here. Good. Keeping a heel down as much as you can. We're going to do the forward bend 2 more times. This time you're going to use your fingers, 2 fingers to hook onto the big toes. You're going to hold on to it. And then you're going to slowly come back up to a forward bend. You can readjust your toes so that they're pointing straight forward. And then come down to a forward bend here. Keeping your knees a little bit soft, but still enough to feel a stretch. Elbows are pointing out to the side of the room. Eyes are gazing through the legs. Use your fingers to pull the toes to give you a little bit more leverage to come down forward more. 2 and 1. Exhale, you're going to release that and come back down to the squat. Resting here. I'm going to do it one last time, and this time I'll show you from the side angle here. You're going to place your whole palm underneath your foot. So you're stepping on your own palm. The toes should be touching your wrists. Okay, and you're going to do it for the both sides. And then you're going to turn the toes forward again. So same thing this time, pressing down with your toes as much as you can. So it's kind of keeping you fairly tight and small here. Head down, elbows still gently pointing out. Just as much as you can. Good. Press down with your toes, lift a bum up, head relaxed. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. And exhale, releasing the hands out, and you can slowly come up to standing, sweeping your arms up. And exhale, coming down. Great. Now we're going to step out to the side using this long edge of your mat. You're going to have your toes point straight forward. The distance of your feet should be around your wrist distance. So when you extend your arms out, it's about just right underneath your arms. Far enough where you can still feel like you can stabilize and not fall back or fall forward. Now with your toes pointing straight forward, you're going to first, kind of like when you do an air squat, you're going to shift your bum back first as much as you can with your back straight. And then you're going to place your fingertips onto the mat. Where your fingertips are, they should be almost in line with your big toes. And they just kind of sit underneath, right underneath your shoulders here. Okay? So if I'm looking at you, I should see a perfect triangle. And then you're going to gently, slowly reaching the crown of the head. So not your full head, but the top of the head down towards the mat as much as you can. Now your elbows are going to have to bend somewhere. So the elbows should be pointing straight back. Good. See if you can relax your neck a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. You're going to look forward first. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to place your hands onto your hips and slowly come back up. Whew. Everyone okay? Great. Second variation. Keeping the legs the same way. You're going to reach your arms out and you're going to interlace your fingers behind your back, like so. So if you're super tight, you may end up having your palms apart like that, which is okay. But ideally, I want you to keep your palms together and straighten your arms and rotate your shoulders back. So you get a really nice stretch here and you're opening that up, okay? Keeping your palms together as much as you can. You're gonna do the same thing where you come down to a forward bend. And this time you're gonna sweep your arm up and over. This is a more intense stretch for your pecs here. I sit slacker, you're gonna sweep your arms up and over. Yep, so your goal for this one, get this. The hand should touch the floor in front of you. Yeah, man, seriously. With your palms together. You can't cheat, Andrea. Andrea's like instantly placing the hands on the floor. Okay, that's your goal. Slowly come back up. Inhaling. Whew. Exhale. Great. Relax your arms. One last one, I promise. That's it for forward bend. One last one. You do the same thing with the fingers hooking onto your big toes. We use this trick a lot because it really helps to get you some leverage to pull. So when you're hooking onto your big toes, your elbows are going to have to bend as you come down, and your elbows are going to point to the side of the room. And again, crown of the head reaching towards the mat. More intense stretch for your hamstrings here and the back of your legs and just everywhere around those areas. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly come back up, inhaling and exhaling, release. Good. You're going to turn your, I'm going to turn my left foot. You can do the same, so it makes my instruction easier to remember. You're going to turn your left foot back towards the front of your mat, and you're going to turn your right foot in. So one foot is pointing straight forward, the other foot is pointing 45 degrees. You're going to bend the front knee. When you're bending the front knee, you're going to look down and you want to see, checking the alignment of your knee. It should track right over the space between your big toe and your second toe. If it's tracking inside, and it's not good for your knee, so make sure that it's tracking the same way as your big toe and your second toe. And then you're keeping that back leg nice and strong. So you're going to press down towards the outside edge of that foot here, right there, as if it's glued there. You're going to bring your arms out. Shoulders relaxed. Now the rib cage always wants to flare out, so I want you to draw that back in. And as you breathe in and out, keeping the belly as tight as you can. Then you're going to place the left elbow down onto your left thigh, and you're just going to sweep that right arm over the head, making a one straight perfect line from the fingertips towards the back foot. Good, and come back up, inhaling, straighten your leg. You're going to switch side, just swap legs. Same thing, bending the right knee now. As you bend, as soon as you bend, that back foot really press down to the outside edge. It's going to help you engage your inner arc. And then when you're ready, placing the right elbow onto the right thigh, the left arm sweeps up and over. Beautiful. Slowly come back up, inhaling, arms up, straight leg. Exhale, you're just going to step and go back to your downward dog. And slowly, you can step your foot forward and sweep your arms up, inhaling, and exhale, come to standing position. So we're going to do just a few standing balancing pose. So if you're on a carpet, it might be better if you find somewhere where it's a little bit more stable. If you're on hardwood floor, perfect. Okay, so we're going to do something super basic, but I'm going to challenge you to make it more fun. So you're going to go into a regular tree pose, which is where you just put your right foot towards the inner thigh, and you're going to place your hands towards your chest here. So your foundation, the left foot, your toes need to really spread as wide as you can. It's going to help you engage the entire surface of your foot. As you press this right foot in, this heel is active. So you're really pushing against this leg here. It's going to help get this guy to wake up and engage the thigh here as well. Now it's super easy to stand in this position for a while, as long as you have your foundation set properly. I want to challenge you and ask you to close your eyes. Just see if you can maintain 5 to 8 deep breaths without falling. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. So the trick is, even though you're not really looking at yourself doing this, you're relying on a lot of visuals and you forget to use your toes. And that really asks you to pay attention to that standing foot. Those toes are really going to save you now. Good. Getting there. I can see. I can see Jillian. She's like, she either paused her video or she's really doing a good job. She's like not moving. I can see Jillian moving now. Okay, when you're ready, you can come down and take a break and just kind of shake it out. And you're gonna do the same thing on the left side. Now that you have an experience with that left foot, you may get a better chance with your right foot. So if this is your right foot, I call this the four corners of the feet, which is, you're looking at it like the balls of the feet here and the back heels. Even though the heels are quite narrow, you should still be able to anchor those points down. So these 4 points is what you want to press down on the floor. It's going to encourage the arc here to engage as your toes are spread. Try that. Slacker is like, I don't know what you're smoking, girl. You just muted yourself. You were unmute and then you just muted yourself.
Did I? Can
Yeah,
you hear
now
me?
I can hear you.
I just, like everything in theory, no problem. In practice,
I know, right?
it's a whole different thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly, which is the fun part. Maria's doing really well. This other foot is, yeah, she's getting it. Good. It's just because we are using shoes every day, we forget to use the little muscles on the bottom of our soles, and we don't use our toes as much. And this is a really great practice to kind of stimulate them again. Good, and you can slowly come down. Maria, you did really well. Good job. Good job. Great, this is fun. Okay. And then we're gonna go into the lotus one more time. So if you are tight, or if you have any kind of knee pain or hip pain, if pretend this is my towel, you can use this as a towel to hook onto your foot. So your foot is not coming up as high here. Not everyone can bring the foot as high. And if it means that your foot is gonna rest just slightly in between the thigh and your hip, that's totally fine. We just use a towel to hold on to it. And you wanna really relax this right knee down. And then as soon as you relax this down, sometimes if you're tight here, the bum is gonna stick back. So you're gonna really try to stand up tall, open this up, at the same time, keep the rib cage in and then dropping the knee down. If you're comfortable with your hand holding your foot, then you can reach the right arm. If your right knee is up, then you're gonna reach your right arm back and grab onto the inner elbow. And then eventually you're gonna walk that hand down to reach your toe. Good. That's it. If you're having trouble balancing, you can have one hand against the wall as well. That's it. And you can slowly release that, shake it out, and you're going to change side. When you're ready, go ahead and change side. So standing up as tall as you can, keeping the tailbone tucked under, rib cage in, knee dropping, shoulders relaxed. And then that standing foot, the toes are working. And slowly release. And then you can shake it out. Great. We're going to move on to the floor positions now. You're going to place your hands down. You're going to step back and just do one vinyasa. So you could come down into a supported chaturanga if you need to. And then just one big, beautiful upward dog. Open up the chest. And then you're going to pull back, either child's pose or downward dog. And then you're going to cross your legs with a sit down. Good. And we're going to go into the deer pose. So let's start with the left foot. So the left foot, the shin is going to be parallel to the front edge of your mat. And then you're going to bend the right knee. The right shin is now parallel to the long edge of your mat. Good. And then you're going to slowly lean back. Three, two, and one. Slowly come back up. Take your time. Now, without switching towards the left side, we're going to add in one pose in between. Keeping your left foot as is, you're going to sweep the right foot and stack it on top, completely on top. So I'm going to bring my laptop over here to show you. So if you're doing it right, it's going to look like that because your hip's going to be tight. You're going to really want to stack it on top. So when you're looking from bird's eye view, can you see? You can only see one shin. So it's not the usual crossing of the legs like this, but rather your shins are stacked on top of each other. So that back heel is touching the top knee. Does that make sense, guys? Good. Yes? Maybe. If it's not touching, it's fine because generally speaking is quite tight. This is, I'm hurting over here. So it's, you know, it's normal. Okay. And then if you feel already something is stretching, I don't know where it is, you're going to place your hands to the inner thigh here. You're going to roll your thigh muscles outwards like that. As soon as you roll, you're going to lean forward. You feel it now? It's pretty intense pigeon stretch, like a double pigeon, basically. Good. And come back up. Good, you're gonna release that. You're gonna switch legs. So the right shin is now parallel to the front end of your mat. You're gonna sweep that left foot back, left shin parallel to the long edge of the mat, and then you're gonna lean back. Sorry, I just realized this is not a great angle for me. I'm moving it back here. Still not a good angle, Jesus. Let's stick to side profile. Oh gosh. So you want to feel the stretch along that left thigh, almost kind of going diagonally. A few more deep breaths. And slowly come back. I'm going to do the same thing with the double pigeon on the other side now. So same thing, the right leg doesn't move. You're going to sweep it over and go on top. So the heel to the knee, and then the knee to the heel. And you're going to flex that foot. So if you look down from bird's eye view, you should only see a very clear triangle. Good. Stay where you need to be. If there's a huge space in between the knee and the heel here, you can place a towel in between as well. And when you're ready, you can stay up or you can come forward for a deeper stretch. Good, and slowly come back up. Exhaling, release everything, shake it all out. That's it. And we're gonna sweep that right knee back this time, pointing it backwards. If you have a larger calf muscle, roll that out. So there's minimal space in between here. And the heel is sitting right next to outside of that bum. And your toes are pointing straight backwards. That left foot is straight forward, is flexed. The toes are pointing back. And you're gonna come forward. Again, one more time, go slow. If you can reach, you can hold on to your left foot. Otherwise, you can use a towel to help you, and you're gonna come down to a forward bend. And slowly come back up. Good, you're gonna place your hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards yourself. You're gonna bend this left knee. So you're gonna use that left foot to help you stabilize. You're gonna slowly come up, almost kind of like a glute bridge. Coming up. And you're gonna feel a nice stretch and release around the pec area. And if you feel comfortable, the neck can be soft and relaxed. And exhale, come down. That felt really good. And then switch side. So the right leg straight forward, the left knee back this time. And when you're ready, you can come forward. If you find that you're not able to be balanced and you're leaning towards that one side, you're gonna have to stick a towel underneath the right bum. If your left bum is sticking up, you're gonna stick a towel under the right bum. That way you're leveled. Good, and you're gonna slowly come back up. We'll do the same thing. Fingertips pointing towards yourself. Open chest, right knee in, and up. If your quads are tight, you're gonna feel it in your quads too. Four, three, two, and one. Exhaling all the way down and release. Legs forward. Shake it out. Are you guys comfortable with doing a shoulder stand tonight? Yes, okay. You just have to have enough space. And if you're on your period, skip it. Do the lying down butterfly. That one's better, okay? Okay, so when I talk about the space that you need, because you're gonna come up towards your shoulders, and afterwards your legs gonna go down back that way. So I'll just show you quickly without turning my head to look at the camera. So you're gonna start your pose. You're gonna move your bum down towards the end of the mat a little bit. So that will give you space for your legs to go up. You're gonna lie down. Starting position is here. If this is what you're comfortable with tonight, that's totally fine. This is already an inversion itself. If you're comfortable going a little bit deeper, then you can slowly move your hips up and you're gonna have your hands supporting your lower back. Here, your hands are gonna make a triangle and it's gonna support your lower back. Your palms are gonna be on where your sacrum is. We're just gonna hold here for about 10 breaths. You're gonna keep breathing while you're here. And then when you're done, we're gonna slowly drop the legs with control towards the back of the mat here. And then you're gonna release your hand, palms down, and you're gonna slowly roll yourself all the way down with control. And that's it. So the whole time, I would recommend not turning your head while you're upside down because you're relying your shoulders as your foundation. You don't want to turn your head. That's why I wanted to demo before you actually go up. If you have some kind of hair tie, a bun on the back of your hair here, take it out. It's going to make it a little bit more comfortable when you're going up. And if you're choosing the other option where you just want to do the butterfly, you would do it this way with bolster and a block if you have. And then you're gonna rest along the bolster like a queen and just rest here and chill. Okay, if you don't have a bolster, that's fine. You can do the same thing on the mat. It's just that when you're on a period, it's more comfortable when your heart is higher than your belly. Okay. All right, when you're ready, choose your position and you can go ahead. Make sure you have space for your legs if your legs are going to be going back after the shoulder stand. Good choice. Good. Good. If you choose to have your hands on the floor and your legs are up and your bum is still on the floor, that's totally fine. When I do give you the cue to move your legs back, you're going to skip that. And you're just going to slowly lower your legs down towards the floor. If you're all the way up, you're going to hold 3, 2, 1, and you're going to slowly lower the toes towards the back of your head onto the mat or onto the floor. You're going to get a really nice stretch on your lower back while you're here, keeping your feet together. Good. Now from here, you can choose to leave your palms on the floor and roll back down, or you can leave the palms on the floor and you're gonna fold your knees next to the ears like a headphone. So your knees are gonna come apart and it's gonna be bent and it's gonna come towards the side of your ears. That's it. And you're gonna slowly release your legs all the way down towards the mat with control. That's it, all the way down. Good. And then you can make yourself comfortable here by hugging your knees towards the chest and then slowly going into either Savasana or you stay in your butterfly, or if you're already in that position. When you're ready, you can slowly go into your final relaxation. You may want to either dim the lights or put a towel over your eyes just so that you can fully relax. Slowly move your fingers and your toes. And just make yourself comfortable. And slowly turn to the side and rest on the side. And slowly come back up to sitting. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions for anything that we did tonight.
That was good, Milla.
Thank you.
Yeah, that deer pose was something else. Oh my.
That's funny.
Oh.
The gentleman in the corner of my screen, the one that says the Hardings.
Sean.
Sorry, I haven't met most of you. I don't know your name. I can see you mouthing some stuff while we're in the poses. I'm like, oh my God, he's cursing at me.
I love it.
I'm sure he knows he's muted. I can see him while I like.
Yeah, probably. Better unmuted.
Oh man, well, I'm glad you guys have fun.
Thank you
I
so
like
much.
that deer pose. I'm gonna have to find a better angle next time for my laptop.
I did like the crotch shot. I like that. That's very good.
I was like, let's go into this pose, and then just holding there like no shame.
I
And
like that
just
you don't know
realized-
Sean's first name, but he's
No.
seeing the inside of you. So that's fabulous.
We're best friends now.
So good, babe.
He's gonna be forever named the Hardings in my mind. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure as always. We'll see you guys same time next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good night, guys. Bye bye.
So